How's it going, guys? This is Seth. Welcome back to the channel. I would have recorded a traditional intro sitting down, but as you can see, there's a lot going on where I'm at today, so I'm kind of just trying to get on the move, you know. But anyway, today we're here at Sunset Park here in Rocky Mount. So for this video, I did record hole breakdowns and everything, but with this music playing in the background, it kind of made it impossible to use any of my audio. So today I'm just going to be giving you guys a voiceover for Sunset Golds. But anyway, like I said, we're here at Sunset. This is one of Rocky Mount's best courses in my opinion. Starting off here at hole 1, this is a long 300-foot hole that requires a turnover or a power forehand. I managed to smooth a really good shot with my Essence up there to about 25-30 feet and cash it in with my P1. Great starting hole because I usually don't start well on this hole. So to get a birdie here was a great momentum builder heading into the next few holes, which are, I think, pretty easy birdie opportunities if you play them right. So second hole here, like you just saw, 600 and about 20-30 feet. Plays to the left around this road here. I'm going for my DD1 off the tee. Bang, there we go. Just a little hyzer flip sometimes and let it fade left. I don't try to go for too much here because I always end up just turning it over and it takes the birdie out of the equation. So anyway, a little more about Sunset. So like I said, this is probably one of the longer courses. The Golds is one of the longer courses here in Rocky Mount, if not the longest, I think, maybe, at about 6,800 feet. Might have to double check on that, but anyway, if I'm wrong, I'll show it on the screen. I really don't have a lot of experience playing this course, but when I do play this course, it's very, very bad to say the least. So anyway, so I get to my lie here, and I have a decent shot for my second, and I don't really have much of a backhand gap, as you'll probably see once the camera pans, but I opt for my FD3, my flat FD3 here, and just go for a power forehand with a little bit of ante. You might not see it up there, but I do get up there quite a ways, and I am left with a putt, as you'll see here in just a second. I had a few options there. I probably shouldn't have thrown the forehand because I kind of left myself with a little putt here, as you'll see in about a few seconds, maybe. Right there, yeah. So definitely could have bit more off if I wasn't throwing such an overstable disc, but missed the putt just short of the basket. And I'm like, let me pick up another one, you know, just start the round. Let me see if I can pick it up. And of course I cash it, so unfortunately I couldn't count that, but you know, moving on, I made the adjustment, put the putt a little higher. So anyway, I chose to do this course next because one of my limited experience, but also two, I kind of have I need to get revenge on this course. I needed to, and so last time I played it, I played +7, which was absolutely terrible. And so I told myself I needed to go back out here and just shred because I knew it was possible. I've played good here before. But anyway, this is hole 3, a little over 300 feet here. I'm opting for my FD1 here, my straighter one. Unfortunately, I kind of just rip it on a hyzer and it just never flipped up. Kind of just softed it just a little bit on that throw. But anyway, somehow made it close to the basket. There's an OB line right behind me, so I almost went out of bounds. I don't know if it actually plays casually, but I didn't go out of bounds, so it didn't matter. Missed this putt left. Again, I'm like, how did I miss that putt? I was feeling really good about my putt today, so then I throw another one, and I cash it. So unfortunate as well that we missed both of those when we could have been 3 down. But anyway, hole 4, 573. I think it plays a little shorter. Throw my Glacier off the tee here. What you want to do is get down the fairway and just a little to the left where you see that kind of that car up there. You want to play short of this road though, because your second shot is just about getting to the green, which is very attackable. It used not to be. There used to be a ton of trees around it, and so it made it hard. I'm reaching for my tactic. Easy little hyzer around the trees. Parked it. No problem. As long as you break down this hole, it's a very easy birdie. The short layout, the orange layout's even easier. It's just a 100-foot hole where you're attacking this tee from the other side of the road. So pretty easy birdie. At this point of the round, I just started, and I wasn't really expecting to
be 2 down through 4. So I'm feeling really good about this right now. I'm like, okay, this can be a good round. The music in the background was very distracting. There was a festival or something going on, and in all my audio, it picked up the loud, super loud music. So you can see me talking, but you're not going to hear me say anything. So I'm kind of just breaking down the hole here. This is probably one of the most notorious holes on the goal layout. So essentially, what you have is a 900-foot, really technical hole where you have to throw multiple placement shots in order to be able to attack the green. So off the tee, reach my MD3. All I need to do is get 300 feet, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. Just throw it straight, hard. Gonna get to that open field. The second shot requires you to throw down another gap, which you'll see right here. And just to the right of the end of the camera here is the short basket, which plays a little over 300. UDisc has all these distances wrong because it says 397, and there's no way I threw it MB3 pin high 400 feet. So anyway, you can't see it up there too far, but there's a manhole cover you kind of want to play to. I played a little right of that tree and it faded. Managed to just get there, which is perfect. You'll probably see this manhole cover in a second when the camera pans to the left. But the third shot here is probably the most important because it's birdie or die here. So I reach for my P3X. I need a stability because the basket is a little to the left where you see that building at in the very back. I thought it was way too left at first, but I get up there and it's 10 feet from the basket. So I was like, hallelujah, this is amazing. Hard to get a birdie here. I'll probably never get a birdie here in tournament. I think this hole is just so difficult. And if you play it perfect, then obviously you're going to get the birdie, but it requires 3 perfect shots, basically. Anyway, next we got hole 7. This is hole 9 on the short layout, and I never really liked this hole. It is nice, though, because it is an island hole. And although that is cool, I never find myself actually going for the island off the tee. Instead, I take my green P3X here, and I just lay it up with a forehand. My goal is just to get to the very bottom of the hill before the road, which is OB, and just lay up my next shot. I actually did this during a tournament, and then on my second shot, like what you would see here, I putted up to the basket and went short somehow. So now I throw the forehand, just chipped it up under the basket, take my par. I never play with that hole because it's too much. Anyway, next here we have hole 8. This is a pretty doozy of a hole. It requires a really good shot to the very end of this fairway, the first fairway I'd say, where you have to hit a gap on the second. So you can play putter mid if you want, but I like to go for my essence here with a hyzer flip, get a little aggressive because I want the distance. It kicked off a tree, but it did land perfect where I wanted it. Second shot, I grounded it with the DD1, unfortunately. Couldn't capitalize on a really good fairway opportunity. So now I'm left with just a little pitch up. P3X in hand. Lately, I've been really reaching for this thing on forehand turnovers or just straight forehand shots. So I put it close enough to the basket where I can just pick up a par here. On the orange layout, this is split into 2 separate holes, that gap you saw. And I think they're 2 really good holes, but as one, it becomes a very challenging hole because the first shot requires perfect placement. And often with my game, I reach for the driver first. And so kind of humbling myself and taking a mid there is probably what I should be doing, but I never do it. So anyway, hole 9. I think this is just under 300 feet. Again, I don't trust UDisc. Reach for the FD1 here because I always pick something overstable when I'm throwing downhill. Throw it wide. My fiance almost screamed because she thought I aced this hole when she saw the shot because it looked like it almost went in, but it went just past the basket. I usually am either really short or I throw in the woods here, so I always pick up the driver anyway and just throw it to the woods and hope I kick out and have a putt. I never can seem to get this hole right, but anyway, here you see me. I'm in the middle of the woods yet again, but I have an open putt this time, which is usually not the case, so taking my time here because this is a big putt in my opinion. Cash it. I was very excited about that. You see me put my hands up. At this point, I am 4 down through 9, which I feel like I could have been way further down, but at the same time, a bogey-free start is exactly what I wanted. I usually pick up my first bogey of the round on hole 9, on hole 7. It depends. The island hole is where I always pick up my first bogey, and once that starts, I just fall apart. So anyway, next hole here, you have to throw up this hill, and you need to get a little left. The basket is elevated at the top of the hill. I throw Glacier, but I release it early and it just goes into the woods. Luckily, I got a lucky kick out. Lay up for a par here. You see the basket right there, just elevated. It's a nice hole, but this is a hole that I have triple bogeyed before because there is OB right behind the basket. So, got to be careful here. I play it safe, take my par, don't go anything aggressive here.
Alright, so for this hole,
Anyway, next hole we have hole 11, probably one of my more favorite holes in the course. Just under 600 feet. I think it plays a little longer, but you have a mandatory to hit right out the gap here between these trees. It's only a single mando. You have to get left of the tree here. You'll see the sign. But throw the essence off the tee on a hyzer flip. I turn it over a little more than I want, and I'm thinking maybe it's about to go out of bounds. But luckily, I either cut rolled or landed short of the OB, the road. So second shot here. This is a pretty common landing spot. I usually get way further down the fairway than this, but I'm left with just a simple chip shot to the green. So I have my FT3 in hand while I'm waiting for this car to come by, and I'm thinking either just low and flat or a skip shot, and I kind of just opt for the skip shot here, straight into the road. And one big skip, another big skip later, I'm onto the green for a birdie putt. Went a little longer than I would have wanted, but I step up to this putt thinking I gotta hit this, so that is exactly what I do here. You're gonna see me cash this. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it. Bang. Because it was just an awesome putt. That was a good feeling one right there. So I'm telling you, when I say the putting was the highlight of this round, it was. But anyway, next we have hole 12 here. Historically, I've hated this hole. The basket is at the end of that fence line to the left, and OB's on the road. You're playing from basically OB as you start. But I always throw this too wide, and I did it again today with an MD5. Most overstable disc in my bag, and yet I threw it too wide. So I'm left here with like a 35 foot to the basket, but barely missed the out of bounds. So lucky there, but you'll see the basket here in just a second. Have a long putt here. I'm thinking probably not going to hit this, but give it my best attempt. And I'm just running these today. For some reason, I was absolutely money on the putter. I was on fire. Even when my throws weren't good, my putter was great. So anyway, next we have a hole 13 here. UDIS says 397. I think it's more like 350. I pick up the Vanguard here. Slight hyzer flip, the little S-turn. Perfect flight. Just avoid the trees on the right to fade at the end, and I get pin high to the basket. I was really excited about this shot. I was like, I'm surely have a parked birdie putt, right? Get it to the basket, have a little tester. I didn't exactly get the fade skip at the end I wanted, but it's okay. Still got past the pin, so if it was 397, that would have been really impressive. But we'll take a 350 anyway. So putter's feeling really good. I'm like, I got this. I was feeling really confident. And I airballed this one left, so a little disappointed with that one. Left myself with a tiny comebacker. These are putts that are probably my worst in my game, is these short ones right here. If there's anything I bleed and lose strokes to, it's those like 20 foot, 15 foot putts. And so glad to cash that in for a little sad of a par there. But anyway, we move on to hole 14. This hole, never birdie before. Don't think I ever will. It's just annoying. Requires a really good forehand or just a turnover. Not turnover, a hyzer flip shot, and I just can't get it. Basket is slightly to the right along the wood line here, but there is a clearing at the very end of this. But you can't see it, but those trees do really guard the green. So take the origin in my hand, baby it, but I still turn it over way too much, and it's in the woods. I can get the distance here, but I can never keep the disc in the fairway. So I either kick left, kick right, kick down from a tree. It doesn't matter. So I did get the distance I wanted, but was left with a putt around this weird branch here you can see to my left. So I had to putt around it with a hand hyzer. And I almost thought I had that putt, but it just kind of faded out just to the end. And I threw two more putts after that with my Rainmaker and my Origin, and I still missed, but you can see those on the ground. Anyway, hole 15 here, 570. This is a good hole to birdie here. Another par 4. Really easy par 4. Take the Essence, hyzer flip off the tee. And although I said easy, I did flip it over too much, and I thought I was going to be in the woods. If you get right, you're cooked. But if you get left, too much, you're OB. You have to stay in the middle. So anyway, I'm like right through this bush here you can see behind me. It's a big bush, so the fact that I got through was amazing. A little step throw with the P3X. I was trying the forehand, but I didn't have the line in the woods. I had to reach back and I couldn't do it. And somehow I'm shaking my head because I'm like, that shouldn't have worked. And yeah, I'm walking up to the basket and it's parked. Like I was shocked. I surely thought that throw was going to be nowhere near the basket because it looked terrible on the hand. But anyway, pick up a pretty good birdie there. Did not think I was going to get that. But anyway, here we have hole 16. This is an odd hole because basket's to the right. It requires a good forehand, flex forehand, or just the turnover backhand. And I usually go for the forehand here, even though I don't have a big forehand. And I turned the origin yet again over a little too much, which is making me question this disc at this point because I was not putting barely any power on it and it was just burning over. So left with an impossibly long putt here. Again in burst style, we're just going to jump putt it. I think I decided to put, I don't know if I decided to put around that tree or not. I was kind of debating whether or not to do an Anheuser putt or a Heiser putt around the tree, but just lay up, whatever. I can never get the height on those longer putts and keep it in the air long enough, even with a glidey disc like a P1. So hole 17 here, good gap hitting hole here. You have to hit this tiny gap of trees, which you will not see because of the angle the camera's at. But if you make it through the gap, straight disc, straight putter with a P3X like a throw, you get rewarded with a great birdie. There's a backstop behind the basket with these bushes that will most of the time catch your disc. So really thought I almost missed that putt though. So very scary. Definitely I had to rehearse that putt again because I was like, goodness gracious. But anyway, we're already at hole 18. This is a short video, but this hole requires a good 2 placement shots. So you have to get over the road on the green a little to the left for your second shot. I threw the Glacier, probably could throw something a little faster. Depending on how left you get off the tee, you're left with this next shot as either like a little straight right gap that's really small or a big high forehand hyzer or backhand turnover gap on the left, which you probably won't see from this angle. I probably don't show it in the video at all. But I take the P3X, throw it straight up the gap here. You can see the other gap I'm talking about there, but the basket's behind all those trees there. So you can really take your pick. Most people would probably do the other option that I didn't pick. So anyway, I hit that tree there to my right and kick down. So I'm left here with just a layup for par. But, you know, this hole is like, I wish I could have got it because there's so many par 4s in this course that are birdieable, but just give it my best run. I was putting really good today, so I was feeling confident about all of them. But then I take my putter out, my second one, and I'm just walking up this tap in. And regardless of how the round went, I was a very happy camper because, as you'll see with my scores in a few moments, that this was an amazing round for me here. I was very, very happy with this round. So,
all right, guys, that kind of wraps it up for the course here. I somehow went 8 down today. You know, I missed some crucial putts on like holes 2 and 3 that I made on my second putt, which sucks, but you know, we take a par there. But also, although I missed some putts, I made some really clutch putts today to secure some birdies that I thought were out of reach. So, feels really good to take revenge on this course because last time I played it, it went really bad. And for a player like me, I knew that I could do so much better. So, thank the discs in my bag today for what they did. I kind of, since my in the bag video, I've shook a few things up, but that's kind of what I always do. I never really have a fluid bag setup for the most part. So thank my Discmania discs for what they did today. But also I just want to give a special shout out to the streak. I literally just got this yesterday trading something for my buddy Alex, and this disc is like a straighter FD in my opinion, and I don't usually bag something non-Discmania, but I really like the way this flew today. Disc I threw a few times today. I also threw some practice shots on it off camera that I really liked, and so though you guys probably didn't get to see all that, the streak was amazing disc today in the bag. Shout out to these P1s that I've been trying out lately. When I first started out the year, I was putting out links, and these are just so much better. They still have the fade at the end that I want with any putter. They're not like super straight, but they get a lot more glide. So made some really clutch putts today with these. Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that, like it, maybe subscribe. Second episode on the course farewell tour. So this is a very special course to me. Along with many other courses here in town, this course really helped me grow my game over the past year and a half, almost 2 years now. So this will be a course that I really miss when I leave. So Comment down below where you think I'm going to play next. We have 3 more courses to go, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.